Next one is structure and functions of an ecosystem. Now, Odom said that ecosystem is considered as the structural and functional unit of nature. Now, we will discuss how it can be possible. What does it comes when we are talking in terms of structure? Okay. Now, point wise, like in first point, you will see the biological component. Characteristics of structure of an ecosystem. First one will be the composition of all the biological communities, including the species, the biomass, the life history of and distribution in its space. The biological community compositions. So what does the first and the most one it will come? The composition of all the biological communities, including the species, the biomass, the life history, the distribution, the space occupied, etc. All these will come under one of the basic characteristics of structure of an ecosystem. Next one is, the next point you will see is the quantity and the distribution of living and non-living components. Living and non-living components. Next is what does it mean quantity and distribution of living and non-living component is at each trophic level a certain amount of quantity is being distributed according to the amount of producers, consumers, their consumption of energy, the release of energy, all that. And distribution of all the non-living components here occurs. Like what are the non-living components in an ecosystem? It may be as the nutrients, water, all those energy components are called as non-living components at each trophic levels in an ecosystem. And the third one will be the environmental factors. Environmental factors, what will be the environmental factors here? Like we can talk about in terms of what is the amount of temperature maintained at each trophic level or at each ecosystem which we are studying. Either it may be forest or it are water or land, tropical deciduous, coniferous. So every ecosystem has its own environmental conditions. So when we are talking in terms of structure of an ecosystem, we will also take into consideration the environmental factors like the light availability, the temperature availability, right? All these will come under the environmental factors. Next one is those are called as we will talk next is functions of ecosystem. Now when we talk about functions of ecosystem, what are the functions of ecosystem here? In this we will talk about the biogeochemical cycles. What is biogeochemical cycles here? We will talk about the total cycle form or the rotation of all the nutrients from producers, herbivorous, carnivorous and omnivorous from trophic level 1 to the top trophic level. How the component of this particular ecosystems are moving, what is the movement of nutrients from one trophic level to the another trophic level. And another one is you will see the rate of nutrient cycling. It is also called as rate of nutrient cycling. Next, another one is regulation of biological organisms and environment. This can be studied here, and also we will study about the rate of all the physiological activities which are occurring, the rate of biological energy flow. Rate of energy flow in a particular ecosystem at each trophic level of an ecosystem can be studied under the functional aspect of the ecosystem. Now what is energy flow? The ultimate source of energy is sun, right? So from sun the energy is coming and it will be taken by producers, then it will go to carnivores, then it will go to herbivores. So from one trophic level of an ecosystem to the top base to the top of an ecosystem, the energy flow is occurring, and this energy flow is in a unidirectional form. It will not be given back to sun, it will be taken, it will be utilized and consumed, okay, by one trophic level to the other trophic level. When it is moving, it will be reduced to a certain extent. All these we will talk in detail when we are talking in detail about each aspect of ecosystem, right? So basically These are the components why we can say that ecosystem is the structural unit of nature and why we can say that it is a functional unit of nature.